I want to talk to you about incidents versus problems, specifically from the perspective of IT service management, and even more specifically the distinction that best practices like ITIL makes between incidents and problems. But I want to do that by looking at a non-IT example. Imagine you are providing a delivery service. On a trip, you suddenly feel something is wrong with the car. This is the result of an event. You stop, so the service is interrupted, therefore an incident happened, and notice that you have a flat tire. We're going to consider a number of cases. In the first instance, the first case, you know how to fit the spare tire, you get it out, change the tire, and get going again. The incident is resolved and the service is restored. But let's take case 2. Oops, this is a company car and you can't find the spare tire. Lo and behold, you have to phone the people running the carpool, the equivalent of the service desk, and for now we'll just call them the service desk, to find out how to locate the spare wheel. After a bit of explanation by the first level support at the service desk, you get it out, you get the wheel fitted, and off you go. Service restored, incident resolved. But let's consider case 3. On locating the spare wheel, you find it is, also flat. Angrily, you phone in, and again they promise to send somebody with another spare. That will be second level support. Second level support arrives, fit the wheel, and off we go. Service restored, incident resolved. Case 4. Oh no, when the person with the spare arrives, you both notice that the tire might be flat, but it was caused because the strut mounting at the shocks broke. Suddenly you can't fix the flat tire because it won't get you anything. Specialist support is necessary. A towing service is required to take the car to a special workshop. We will call that third level support. Also at the same time, we will arrange a spare car, a different car, so that we can take the parcels and we can back it back on the road so that delivery can continue. At that point in time, service is restored and incident is resolved. We refer to that temporary solution to restoring the service as the workaround. Note that we've used terms here: first level, second level, and third level support. It need not go that route. It could have been that I noticed it immediately, that it was the strut mounting, and the service desk might have sent me the tow truck and a spare car from the start, thus going from first level support, the analyst at the service desk, directly to specialist support, third level, with the tow truck taking it to a special shop. That moving between levels we call functional escalation, between levels of expertise. Note that it has got nothing to do with the position that you hold in the organization, but in this case, it is from generalist to a little bit more specialized that do it on site to something very much specialist. So that can be in an IT environment, the service desk, the technician that maybe need to run around and go and inspect the physical equipment, etc. Or maybe the third level support can be a database administrator or somebody with specialist technical knowledge that will only get involved in the incident when required. Notice that we haven't used the word problem yet. Before we review the terms, let's just make another point. At this point in time, communication happened through service desk. They were responsible for coordinating all of these activities, and that is quite important. We won't phone the tow truck ourselves. We will organize the tow truck through our service desk. So the customer should have one way of communicating with us to the service desk. For the customer, it is one place. The physical implementation might very well differ. Okay, so let's review some of the terminology. We drove along and an event happened. The event led to the incident because service was interrupted. The first case was a case of self-service. We restored service, we resolved the incident ourselves by just changing the tire. But then we had first level support, we had second level support, and this moving between the levels of support we called functional escalation. Of course, we also had third level support, and we had the car that replaced our current car, which we'll call a workaround. In all of these cases, once we got on the road again, it is that the incident has been resolved. And that is the aim of incident management, is to, as fast as possible, resolve the incident. So, what was the problem then? Was it the flat tire? No. The flat tire merely represented the incident. It's like a symptom almost. It's the reason for the service disruption, but it is not the real problem. In IT service management terms, the problem is the root cause. So what is some other possibilities? Was it a nail? Was it a worn tire? Was it a cut in the tire? Is that the root cause? No. It's getting closer, but it is still not the thing that really caused it. It is still just something that caused the flat tire. It didn't. There must be something that caused the nail to be there, the cuts to be there, the worn tire to be there. So let's consider some, in some cases, fairly ridiculous options. The nail could be sabotage. Somebody put a nail upright behind your wheel so that when you reversed out of the parking, something happened. But it could also be that it was a nail factory en route that spools nails frequently. Of course, that you will only know once you start getting repeating incidents every once in a while of a nail, and it's just about in that area. And that's important. An incident is a disruption in service. A problem you might only recognize after a number of repeating incidents. The worn tire, the underlying cause might be irregular maintenance. In fact, in terms of irregular maintenance, we could probably go another level down to another root cause, more root cause, in terms of inadequate oversight of the carpool or something to that effect. Cuts could be because of a bad road service. So, with an incident, we resolved the incident by making sure that service is restored. With a problem, we need to fix the underlying root cause, which sometimes will not be possible. Like, for example, a bad road surface. It's probably not your company's job to go and tar the roads. And if you're in South Africa, you're going to have a hell of a lot of roads to tar. But anyway, sometimes it might be just cheaper to have workarounds available. Others you have got control over. If you find that there's a lot of incidents because of irregular maintenance, you can zoom up the maintenance schedule of in this case, the carpool, and make sure that you've got less worn tires and therefore less incidents of the same nature. So let's consider these two processes, incident management and problem management, and their somewhat different viewpoints. Incident management has got as its prime purpose to restore the service as quickly as possible with as little disruption as possible, and time is of the essence. It's really about getting the service back. Little else matters. Problem management, on the other hand, is about finding root causes. It's about being thorough. It's about being permanent with your solution. Quite clearly, you need for these two processes quite different mindsets, because being thorough probably cannot be done against time. Thoroughness takes time. So I can measure the efficiency of incident management in terms of the time that it took, but I cannot really measure the time for problem management and have on its own a successful metric to say that they've been successful. It is quite important to note that the word incident and problem should not be used interchangeably when talking in an IT service management kind of context. Plenty of people use the word problem when they really mean incident. A problem is an underlying root cause. An incident is a disruption in service. I hope that after this you understand the difference between incidents and problems. Thank you.